The shooting death of Alton Sterling was one of the things that motivated a sniper in Dallas to attack officers. 5 officers were killed in that ambush Thursday. President Obama spoke Tuesday at a memorial service for the victims, calling on Americans to channel their anger and sadness into bringing change. And now a CBS News New York Times poll says the number of Americans who feel race relations are bad in America is at an all-time high. I want to turn back to our panel here. And Professor Muhammad, you had a follow-up to some of the points Jeff was making about policing and communities of color. What is it that you wanted to say?
Sure. Well, I think we miss an opportunity here if we focus simply on the concerns of police in terms of whether or not either that their jobs are less effective because the community is not showing them as much love and consideration, or that crime is going up and therefore they need to get back in there. One of the things that Chief Brown made clear in a number of remarks is that police officers have been increasingly expected to solve a range of social problems. So they can't deal with every social calamity that exists in society, a reflection of a divestment often of these communities that police officers are sent into to help and to serve. I also want to say that the poll shows that where Black Lives Matter is concerned, 70% of African Americans polled agree with that movement, and a plurality of whites also agree with that movement. So the criticisms of Black Lives Matter, the legitimacy of a concern about systemic problems with policing, where either excessive force is used in a lethal manner or even in a non-lethal manner, is a real issue. The Department of Justice has initiated investigations nationwide in multiple municipalities. There are a number of police departments under federal consent decree, and San Francisco just reported on its own just recently that it has a problem of stopping and frisking its minority residents. So this has to remain focused on the systemic problem of policing of minority communities. Micah Johnson's hate crime and extremist behavior cannot stand in the way of the work that the Black Lives Matter movement is doing any more than Dylann Roof can reflect the state of race relations in America where white people are concerned.
You're nodding your head, Sian-Pierre. I'm wondering what it is that you think about that in terms of people seeking to undermine what it is that some activists are demonstrating against. There's been a lot of criticism about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Sure. I mean, I think, I believe it was Jon Stewart or Trevor Noah, right, who said it best, which is that you can respect the Black Lives Matter movement and also respect this idea of Blue Lives Matter, right? Like, I'm so thankful that there are police in the street that are keeping, law and order, if you will. However, like, let's face the facts here, right? The numbers don't lie, as we talked about earlier, and it has created this level of distrust among Black people who are constantly policed, right? And so I don't know, for me it's really hard to understand the discussion. Like, I'm willing to get to the table, but for anybody who says that, what the Black Lives Matter movement is all about, which is peaceful protesting and which is basically bringing up the fact that Black lives in this country seemingly don't matter, it's a non-starter for me to have that conversation. Like, we are being policed unfairly. And so, yeah, the controversy around that, I don't understand. I respect police, but I also understand why some people now are saying here on the streets that why don't call the police, call somebody else. Let's create a local community of responders because these police are not working for us.